Hello and welcome to Talking Really. And today's talking point is all about Motability grants set to increase. So as you know, the Motability car scheme is for those on high rate PIP and the old DLA, but obviously mainly the PIP. You have to have the high rate of PIP mobility in order to be able to claim a car. Now, obviously, if you're not worried about this type of car that you want to drive or need, then there are some cars that you can get for free. Basically, you just hand over your allowance and they give you a car for nothing. Basically, you pay for petrol. If you're like me, then you have extra requirements, such as you need to be able to take a wheelchair or a mobility scooter. Then you're looking for a slightly larger vehicle, and obviously if you're wheelchair bound, then you're looking for maybe to have a WAV, which is a wheelchair accessible vehicle. Now if you look at the prices of those, the deposit for the majority of these vehicles, because they are larger, you tend to have to fork out more money. Now obviously the correlation between being on benefits and having loads of money seems to go over some people's heads, because to be quite honest, we're not rich. We haven't got loads of money, unless of course you're working and you can afford to get a loan or something like that. Majority of people just cannot get together 4, 5, 6, 7, 10,000 pounds to be able to pay for 3 years to have a accessible vehicle. My current vehicle, cost me nearly £2,500 in total. Obviously, at the time I had savings that I could afford to pay out, and of course I had to have a larger vehicle because of my scooter hoist. If you're observant, you'll notice that in the news lately there has been a story about Motability and the CEO, who has been paid a staggering 1.7 million total financial package, and this was paid to the chief executive, Mike Betts. Now there is a Motability operations, and they apparently have 2.62 billion in reserves. So obviously this allows them to pay large salaries such as that. Now this is ridiculous, because what's happening is when you apply for a grant to help you with the finances, the problem is that some people are being refused. So let's look at my circumstances hypothetically. So let's say that I couldn't afford this £2,500 for this car, and I really need it to be able to get around, which I do. I drive my car everywhere, and I drive it to work as well. And I put my scooter in the back with the hoist so that I can get around when I get to the destination. Now it's either a scooter or it's a wheelchair. It doesn't make any difference. It's the same idea. So I apply, I fill in a form, send off this form, and Motability, the charity, then decide whether I can get any money to help me pay that fee. Back to them, because it goes back to the people that you're leasing the car off of. The National Audit Office raised significant concerns about Motability operations. This is a company that runs the scheme on behalf of the charity, which is the Motability charity. Now there's two different things here, and bear with me because it does get quite complicated. Now, so the evidence session saw MPs raise concerns about the level of financial reserves held by Motability operations, and this was the loads of money that they have stockpiled. They were also concerned about a lack of transparency by its chair, Neil Johnson, as well as the cosy relationship between the charity and the company, Motability Operations. Another key issue was what would the charity would do with 400 million in donations handed to it by Motability Operations, with the expectation that a further and continuing 100 million a year as a result of profits. So there was more than 1 billion higher than forecast 10 years ago. Paul Atkinson, the charity's new chief executive, said the cost of a wheelchair accessible vehicle can be up to £60,000, with the charity currently making 23 million in grants every year for around about 8,500 people to lease adapted vehicles. Many of these grants were expected to be given out for the less expensive WAVs. So, I think that if anybody is applying for a grant to help pay for their vehicle, then it looks like there could be more of a chance of getting some help with that. But as with all of this, it does come down to your financial status. So if you are a person with finances, savings, or you have an income, or you can get access to a loan of some sort, then there's a high chance that you're probably not going to get any of this money that's hanging around. And billions of pounds is being stockpiled, which I find completely ridiculous. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's vlog, give us a thumbs up, like and a share, and don't forget to subscribe and also tell your friends that we're here. And of course, come back again very soon for another very exciting vlog. Bye for now. Hello, welcome to Talkin Really, and today a very interesting story from the 23rd of January. A former Paralympian from Devon has lost his job and his vehicle after PIP benefits reassessment. Basically, Michael Willervoice from Tiverton was born with cerebral palsy and uses a specially adapted vehicle to travel to work, a 50-mile round trip. The 46-year-old used to receive DLA, but when he applied for the new benefit called PIP, he was assessed to be not requiring the higher rate, and of course is no longer entitled to a Motability vehicle, and hence he's lost his job as well. Because of the location and his disability, it's not possible to get to his job. This story obviously was reported on the ITV TV and in newspapers.
I just can't believe how the government is, treating disabled people. If a government is trying to get disabled people in work, how can they do it if they're going to lose the mobility card, the most important thing of their life, to have a car to get out and do what a normal able-bodied people is, how you want to do. Person that just don't, want to keep on relying on my friends and my family, because they have got their own lifestyle, and just feels that I just don't want to be abundant.
Really, just it's tip of the iceberg as far as people who are being reassessed and losing their vehicles. And for me, it was a close run thing. I nearly could have lost my car, and also I would have lost my employment. Yes, all right, people would say out there, the skeptics and the able people will say, well, go and buy one. We have to buy a car, so why shouldn't you? That's fair enough, providing, of course, you have the resources and the finances to be able to get a loan or to be able to pay back for the vehicle that you're buying. And then, of course, you have to pay for adaptions, you have to pay for servicing, you have to pay for tyres. The Motability scheme was designed to help disabled people get on the road by providing an entire package in receipt of your benefits that you get. Now, obviously, DLA, he was on that for a number of years and had a vehicle and was quite happy. But it is just typically, the fact is that when you get reassessed, you suddenly become able-bodied. Whereas before you were disabled, then suddenly you're not anymore. It is just wrong. And of course, then the other case that we had reported on this channel was the chappie who lost his car worth £6,000 a year, only for the government to pay £14,000 for a taxi for him to go to work. You know, the logic behind it really defeats me. It really does. So a very short vlog there. I hope you enjoyed it, and do obviously come back again very soon. Bye for now. Hello and welcome. And today, Esther Mcvey on TV. So I watched this. This was on Good Morning Britain, and there was a grilling for this woman who was on TV purely to promote herself as the possible candidate for Prime Minister. Basically, she's one of many who are trying to secure the top spot after Theresa May has resigned, and she's obviously one of the people that wants the job. The interesting point that I wanted to highlight on this particular story is the drugs related story. The first question that they ask is this.
She joins us now, but of course the first question we have to ask you as a leadership candidate is have you ever taken cocaine?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever taken drugs at all?
Oh, I've said yesterday I'd tried blow, pot, marijuana,
Blow?
whatever.
Blow's cocaine.
Well, then that's the wrong word. Not where I come from, it wasn't.
Oh, OK.
Okay,
So
you've...
marijuana.
And on many occasions?
No, I was, like anybody else who at university or what have you tried it. Yes, you've tried it.
I know that these posh people, they don't know what they're saying half the time, but having the correct terminology, you would have thought that she'd be more careful in what she says. But you cannot deny that the expression that she used there in that clip, blow, even if you look it up, it comes out as cocaine. You cannot make a mistake like that on TV and expect to not get slated in some way. So Esther Mcvey, basically, like all the other idiots out there in the Conservative Party, has admitted that she took drugs, albeit cannabis, still a restricted drug in the UK, a category of drug that will get you probably a fine, and depending on how much you have on your possession, you could actually go to jail with it. That they should really legalise it, but they're not going to do that because the healthcare system just get nothing from it. They will get no financial benefit from it at all. And of course, the problem is that if it cures a load of people, then the mainstream drug companies are going to be out of business because there'll be nobody buying their products.
So you've used marijuana, cannabis?
Yes, I've tried it.
And do you think that it should be legalised in order to take that pressure off police, for instance?
No, I haven't looked to it to be legalised, no.
Why not?
Because what I do want to see is a potential gateway going forward for, maybe an entrance to other drugs. So I wouldn't do that. However,
You didn't use it as a gateway to other drugs, though, did you?
No, I didn't. So I know there will possibly be like a royal charter, an investigation into how and what we should be doing as our drugs policy, but I, like I said, wouldn't be looking to change anything.
Call me sceptical, but that's the truth. So I did just want to highlight the Esther Mcvey item. As you can see from that clip, it is a typical Tory party response. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. Don't forget, like and share, and come back very soon for another one. Bye for now.